Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues. Nottingham Forest have beaten Everton 2-0 Goodison Park. A deserved win for Nottingham Forest. Like, comment, subscribe before I do this reaction. It's not going to be a very long one. But yeah, I'm frustrated overall. Not just today's results and what's happened. You just watch Nottingham Forest. You watch other teams like Newcastle. Teams who... And I've already vented my frustration at this, but I just feel like I need to say it again. It's just, we had the money, didn't we? We got a good take. We had a very good takeover at the time, we thought. And we just spent ridiculously. Like, why us? Like, why? You've got Nottingham Forest, who hasn't been in the league for about 30 years. This is their third season now or something. Relegation battles with us. People have gone, they've overspent. They've spent on too many mad players. And look at them now. Like, a bit of like calmness after the storm of players coming in, and they've actually somehow found an identity to this team and a way of playing. And I'm not just going to say it's all new now. It's just why couldn't this happen to us? And I love seeing other teams do well, and it's better for the league. But I can't help but get envious because we're just this ever floating above deep water club. At the moment, it's just waiting for it to sink. Now, obviously, I can't fully go on all negative here because we've had 3 decent results. I said we should have... I know it wasn't a glaring opportunity, but we had a very big opportunity to beat City at the end, and I know nothing really came from it. But things like that, you've got to take your chances, because you look at this now and it goes, well, they all meant for nothing, really. And that's not disrespect to Nottingham Forest. They are doing very well this season. They have beaten Liverpool, the only team Liverpool have been beaten by, and at Anfield as well. So, Nottingham Forest aren't mugs at the moment, but what Dice said at the end of the game, they didn't listen to me in the first half. And with the starting lineup as well, a lot of people calling Broja to come in instead of DCL, and I can understand that, but that's not going to solve all the issues. Like, the club, the team are lacking a proper number 10, and you can say Ndiaye's that, but there must be a reason why he's just not playing at the moment. Maybe it's just a lack of wingers. McNeil's out. Harrison's just terrible. Lindstrom is not really pulling up any trees at the moment, so there is a lack of options, and there's not really anyone to replace them with. But God, that just shows how bad our our academy is at the moment, and our reserves. Like, no one is... You see all these other players from other clubs coming in, you haven't got a clue who they are. You wouldn't if you don't support the club. And they just come in and play like some of them have played like they're dead mature the way they play, and they're not rash and young. Like, some of our players we've had, like Lewis Dobbin and that coming in, are just like very raw, and Dixon for Everton, very raw. But I feel like these other players who come in for other clubs just look already settled in, and it's the first game they've ever played in the top flight. It's just crazy, and it's just... You look at the 2 clubs at the moment, and we've both been through issues recently with the financial fair play and stuff. And I had I've got a thing for my dad. We're going to probably go to the Nottingham Forest stadium tour, because I look at Nottingham Forest, they're a big club. I think they are, and they've got other stadiums around there as well, so it'd be a good little day out. But it just shows. I mean, I just didn't... No one expected this from Nottingham Forest. Let's be honest, no one did. Very good attackingly, being questionable in defence over and potentially midfield in the past, year or so. So no one would have expected this, but this game here just shows who's better and who's not at the moment. We don't know if we could attack. Then this game, and I could have easily probably been a draw. Nottingham Forest did sit back. It was weird to see Everton have like 60-something percent possession in the game, which was crazy. I don't know if it lasted to the end, but Forest could have... Forest deserved it, and that's not me just saying, if we had better attack players, we should have drew, and that's it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we'd be in a lot more games and we'd be taking a lot more points, obviously, if we could attack, because if we could defend as well as we have, even though I think we are really set up to be defensive, which doesn't completely, you know, I can't really credit the defence too much, because I think that's just the way we play and we should be keeping goals out for how defensive we are. But Nottingham Forest just turned up, no fear. Their goal was fantastic, even though I think Pickford was a bit off and on today. But yeah, it was a great finish still, from great ball from Morgan Gibbs-White, and then Wood and Alanga played head ball for a little minute, and then he chips it over. Pickford just shows signs of a very confident striker at the moment. And then their second goal was a mistake, I think, from Decore. Poor. Like I said, if we had a few more players in, I don't think Decore will be having as much minutes as he does. He might do a lot of things on notice, but these players are here to, and especially Decore, to be attacking at goal, and he hasn't done it enough this season, and now he's making mistakes in possession, which we all don't want him to be in them kind of areas. Makes a mistake, and then somehow the ball goes out to Morgan Gibbs-White. I think he even goes past Decore and then finishes it. And they had a few more chances. Pickford had like a triple save or something like that. Everton had a fair few chances, but nothing major. Calvert-Lewin had a couple to come on. Broja had a fair few, should have done better. And great dummy in the first half. To me, if I beg for us to not go down, but if things happened and we went down, he wouldn't be at us. But even so, if we stayed up, I don't think he'd be at us. I think someone's going to snip him up and put him in a progressive attacking team, because he's got all the credentials there to be really class. But like in that opportunity, he should have done better and blazed it over the bar. He's had harder opportunities and scored them, like the game the other day against Man City. So yeah, very frustrating. Conceded twice in 2 games. Now the defence breach is slightly opening up. And obviously the attacking displays have been atrocious this season. Like I said, I think Broja wasn't going to do much to fix it, even though, we had a number of chances. It looked a bit threatening at times. But when you're missing that number 10, you've got, like in City, missing at times this season, a member of the team to cut with a pass. I know Arsenal, Odegaard, when he was out for a few games, they just miss someone. Like, you can have the wingers all you want and attackers all you want. The number 10 is such a vital role, I still feel, in football. Just that key pass someone can give, and can open space up as well. And we just don't have that, and we haven't had that for ages. And like I said, if we got another winger or something in, which, like I said, I don't think we're going to do anything in January, but I'd say next season, if we stayed up and these players stayed, then you could probably switch McNeil and maybe even Lindstrom. I don't even know if Lindstrom's tried it down the middle yet. I don't even know if that's his natural position or one of his positions he can play. I'm sure he played it at Frankfurt. But yeah, we never know. But today we got dominated by Nottingham Forest. They looked more threatening than us. They deserved to win. They even had a player injured out in the defence, I think, before the game, and it didn't affect them. And yeah, I mean, the only thing I could say is, we've had 4 hard teams to play against off the cuff, and no team is easy in the Premier League. But I mean, these are, aside from City, but City are always City, and we just don't pick up points against them. And with the bad stretch of form, it's still going to be tough to play against them, because it's just the way they play. They could be on their day. They could take it out on any team. They won today 2-0. And yeah, we managed to get a point. But then we had Chelsea and Arsenal, who have been a bit up and down, but Chelsea especially really in good form. We stopped them. And yeah, we played another team who's really, really on fire at the moment. And I was hoping today, surely they won't win 5 in a row. Surely they won't go second with the other teams yet to play still. I was thinking in my head, and I didn't do a match preview, but I was just thinking, surely not, surely not. It's going to have to stop a little bit. Like, they're not going to just carry this on. And they might lose next game after this. But I just thought, the way we have been, I just can see it being like a little 1-0 or 2-0. Like a 1-0 early goal, Everton, and then a late goal, to like a counter-attack or something, while Nottingham Forest are pushing everything. I thought Nottingham Forest would dominate the game. But I just thought today we could get one over the line here. And now we haven't. You know, the team's picking up points around us. Well, I think just Wolves today, late equalising against Tottenham. And, you know, 1 week looks great and the next week doesn't. And this is why I was frustrated when we didn't possibly take a real big chance at the end against Man City, because them 2 extra points makes a massive difference. When you get an opportunity like that, you've got to take your chance. And now the table looks very different. Now it looks really worrying. There's other teams in around us. Wolves have won more games than us, even though they're below us. And other teams are probably, aside from Leicester, kind of, if Vardy got injured, I wouldn't know what they would do. And Southampton, the other teams, I've got something about them attacking. Ipswich have dropped off a little bit, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if they start again with the lap and the other players they have. And then Wolves have just got more than enough attacking talent to do some damage. And Palace won today as well, and they've got more than enough attacking talent to do well. So that's really worrying. Only Southampton have scored less than us, and that is a stat you don't want, because it's all good getting points. And I've said this in other seasons: pick up points there and there instead of losing. But you've got to start winning games at some point, and you've got to start scoring goals. And now it's like 6 out of the last 8 games or something we haven't scored. It's worrying. It's terrifying. These players need to really work on something else in training than what they're doing at the moment, because I don't see any improvements. They all look lacking in confidence. I feel like it's just not the first time, though. A lot of these players have been here around a long time, always seem to lack confidence. So they're just simply, in my eyes, not good enough. And unfortunately, we can't get rid of them. So, yeah, Chimiti was on the bench. That's a positive, even though, like I said, it's only pre-season when he looked all right. So I'm stringing my hopes onto anything with that. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here, but something needs to change dramatically. And it's in the attack and play, because they're just simply not doing it. At the moment, all the forwards just look rash as anything. They all look like a bunch of 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds back in the day, trying to play and break into the first team and get their opportunities and look really raw and rough, and probably think they should go out on loan. Well, we can't get rid of any of these attackers who are in their mid-20s plus or a little bit less. We can't send them out on loan because we've got no one else, and that's the state of it is at the moment. I'm used to seeing Yakubu, Lukaku, even James Beattie, Andy Johnson, or them back in the day had a bit more prowess, something about them. I look at these attackers and I just can't go too much on Broja today, but the others, Beto, Calvert-Lewin, Chimiti, I know he hasn't done much and hasn't had many chances in this league and whatever, but there's just nothing there which is making me go, I'm confident, because there's players on it today. Like, they're just not. They're hot and cold all the time, and it's simply not good enough to be in this league. You've got to have a good player who can score over 10 goals, 15 goals. Yeah, very worrying. And when the other players around the pitch are not contributing as well now, it's getting even more worrying. So, yeah, anyway, onwards and whatever. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.